So we're going to learn how to use Excel to graph some of the information for our entire set of data. So there are three different types of graphs you're going to have to be making in Excel. And to make all of your graphs, you're going to go up to this Insert tab at the top left. And you're going to see Insert Column. And that's what we're going to use for our vertical bar graphs. And we're going to use this first one, 2D column. Insert Pie, that's what we're using for our circle graphs. Again, the top left. And then Insert Bar, again, top left. We're going to use that for our horizontal. So let's do an example of a circle graph for question 2. So the first thing you have to do is go to question 2 at the bottom, hit the tab for question 2, and we're going to highlight just the first 2 columns. The total was just for me so that I knew what our data added up to. We're going to highlight the first 2 columns, and we're going to say Insert Pie, and hit the top left, and we have our graph. Now we just need to fix a few things about the graph and add some labels. So the first thing we're going to do is click the entire graph, right-click, and go Add Data Label. And it didn't do it for both, so we're going to do that again. Okay, so make sure it shows up for all the sections of your graph. Then we're going to right-click, and we're going to format the data label. We're going to change it from value, unclick value, and click percentage. The circle graphs generally are percent, and again, it only did it for one number, so just click the other number. It should do it for both, but if it doesn't, just click each number individually. Oh, that one I have to do one more time to get rid of the value and just have percent. The next thing that we need to do, we have our legend, so that's perfect. We can drag it over a bit if we want. The only other thing we need to do now is we need to add a title. So under Chart Tools, under Layout, we're going to go to Chart Title, and we're going to choose Above Chart. And for this one, we're going to call it Handedness in the Middle School. And we're going to underline it. If it didn't underline, you can highlight, go home, and just select underline. It's also good maybe to select bold to make it stand out. And that is our graph. What we can now do with that graph is we can save it right in the Excel document, and then later we can copy it and paste it, or we can copy the whole thing, copy, and we can hit a new tab in Word, and we can paste it right into Word if we wanted to. So those are a couple options. Just make sure that you save your work. So if we go back to Excel, let's try to make a vertical bar graph. So let's go to question 4. So along the bottom, question 4. Again, we're going to highlight our columns, not our total column, highlight the other columns. Go Insert. This time, because we're making a vertical bar graph, we're going to go Insert Column, then the top left one. And then here is our graph. Now we need to take a couple things off and add a couple of things. So first we're going to take this legend off. We don't need it, so we're going to just click on it and then hit delete. Then we need to add some labels. So if we go Chart Tools, Layout, we're going to go to Axes, and we're going to put in a vertical axis, and we're going to make sure, Axes Titles. I apologize. Go to Axes Titles, go to vertical, and we're going to rotate that. And we're going to call that one Number of Students. And then we're going to go to Axes Title again, and this time we're going to put in a horizontal one, and we're going to call that one Method of Transportation. Finally, we need to add in our title. So we go to Chart Title, we're going to put it above the chart, and we're going to call this one, we're going to call it How We Get to School. And we can highlight, go home, and make sure that we underline it so that it stands out, and there is our graph. So that's how you make a vertical bar graph. Now we're going to go through a horizontal bar graph. So for that one, let's go to question 13. Again, highlight all the columns, not the total. We'll go to Insert. This time we'll go bar, top left, and we have our graph made. Then we need to take this legend off because we don't need a legend. We want to keep the legend for the circle graphs, but we don't want it for the bar graphs. And then we're going to add some labels. So we go to Chart Tools, Layout, Axes Titles. We're going to put in a vertical rotated, and these are our activity choice, we could call it. Whoops. Activity choice. We're going to put in a horizontal one. Again, this one is number of students. And then we're going to insert a chart title above the chart. And we could call this activity choices in the middle school. And that is our horizontal graph. So you need to be completing 3 circle graphs and 1 vertical bar graph and 1 horizontal bar graph. And there's an outline of different questions that you can choose to make for each of those types of graphs. You can make them right in Excel and then save your Excel file to your computer. And then we can do things with the graphs. We can copy and paste them into other places, or you can copy and paste right into Word and then make sure you save that. So it's really important that you save your information.